Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Don't Ride Back Show.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
I'm here with the boys,
What's up?
What's going on?
and today we're going to talk about the Mario movie.
Was it good? Was it trash? Was it a big fucking disappointment? You're about to find out.
You're about to find out
We all
three
have
nobodies think.
Yeah. We all have opinions, and they're more important than anybody else's. So
Yeah.
this is what you're gonna get.
I was about to say, go fuck yourself.
All right. So, Doug, you saw it today, right?
I did.
What's your initial impression?
So before I went to see it, heard a lot of negative shit online about it.
Yeah, fuck them
Naturally.
negative haters.
Everybody had everybody had varying opinions. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this part was good, but overall it sucked because Chris Pratt or whatever." My first thought when I went and watched it was, "This was fucking great." It surpassed all my expectations. So.
Hearing Jack Black's voice on Bowser just exceeded my expectation already. So
I was telling Mike half the time I couldn't even tell that it was him. He was like every couple of lines he would say something like, "Okay, that's Jack Black."
yeah.
He had a very gravelly voice.
If you didn't know it was Jack Black, you probably never would have guessed it.
until he started singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peaches, 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 peaches. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yep, that's old Jackie.
And I've heard that song like 10 times since I've watched the movie.
Good old
Yeah.
Peaches.
Yeah, my Facebook, or not Facebook, my YouTube keeps recommending it to me.
Emily listens to it quite a lot, so I downloaded it on my phone.
Yeah.
YouTube and TikTok have both been sending me quite a ton of videos of that song.
Yeah.
Man,
We need a pop punk cover of it, maybe.
we really do. We're just the people for that.
We are.
So, first thing we need to get into here is the cast of the movie and what we thought about the cast altogether. I know we all loved Jack Black,
Of
Yeah.
course.
obviously. But what do we think about the Chris Pratt playing Mario and Charlie Day as Luigi? How do we feel about that?
So I would think of them more as Italian because, they're Italian plumbers. But I actually thought they did really well. I was kind of nervous when I heard that Charlie Day was going to be playing Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I thought they did well.
They really did. Like I was telling Doug earlier, the only part that got me at all is like I'm so used to Charlie from like Always Sunny and stuff.
Yep.
That he just uses regular voice, and it was kind of like, I don't know, for me, just hard to separate the two.
Yeah.
But he did good. The voice cast was great.
I think them focusing on being more of like Italian American people because
Yeah.
they're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So they were more Brooklyn than they were Italian, really. So I think they were able to pull off, especially Chris Pratt was able to pull off that accent a lot better than a straight up Italian accent. So I think the fact that they used they went like really ham with the Italian in the commercial,
that was a good part.
and
that
then
was really good.
and then just let him have a more natural like Brooklyn Italian blend of an accent. I think that worked so much better
It really did.
than him trying to go completely Italian plumber the whole movie.
Yeah.
I think that might have like ruined it if he tried that accent for the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that was a nice touch. Yeah, all in all, I thought they both did a great job.
They truly did. Like, if we had to grade the two main characters there as like, A, B, whatever, what would you guys think would be a fair grade for those two?
I give them an A minus.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It was going to be an
That's-
A minus or a B plus, but
Yeah.
I
I didn't want to give them a B
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I'd say like an A minus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was
That's very fair. So A minus all around.
Yep.
I think that's a very fair score.
A lot of people I talked to actually really enjoyed Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were like he kind of stole the show almost every time he was on screen. I'm like, I could see that. It's like I've always been a Luigi guy, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little partial.
Right.
So
And then of course we had Jack Black as Bowser, who we thought killed
A
it.
plus, yeah.
He did absolutely. It was
Oh
great.
yeah, I cannot wait for a sequel to this.
I know, me too. It's going to be so much fun. And then we had Keegan Michael Key as Toad, who I thought he did really well. I actually
Yeah.
liked Toad in the movie more than I ever did any of the games.
Oh yeah,
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, he did great as Toad. Toad was actually, I thought he was kind of a highlight too. He was pretty funny
his
throughout the
upbeat
whole
personality.
Very
Yeah.
good, like comic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Which Doug.
So
Oh, go ahead. Boomer.
Give us your
No.
thoughts on that.
I had a hard time getting behind it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like when he first started going, like I was like, okay. As the movie went on, I was like, all right. I like the rivalry between him and Mario. Though.
I love that. I thought it was so much fun.
So now that we got negative Nancy out of the way here.
I didn't say negative.
I know. I kid. But I'm kind of on the other end of the spectrum. So what I loved about, I'm not a huge Donkey Kong fan in general. Like
I'm a
Right.
Donkey
he's-
Kong Country fan right here.
Yeah, he's all right. But anyway, they really leaned into the fact that like everybody's big issue with it is like, oh, it's Seth Rogen. They're just gonna get the whole time, the stupid laugh nonstop.
I actually laughed when I heard the laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this shows how much thought they put into it. They give you the laugh like right at the beginning of him being on screen, basically.
Right, like, let's just get this out of the way.
First 20 seconds, he does the laugh once and then doesn't do it for the rest of the movie, which I actually thought was great. I thought that was
Yeah.
very smart on their
Yes.
part. Because there are going to be the people that wanted the laugh. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
one of them. I thought it was hilarious.
I wanted it. So
But I didn't want it for the whole movie,
Right.
obviously. So I thought they handled that in the best possible way. And then, like you said, the rivalry between the two was
Pretty damn spot on.
Was pretty funny.
And then we had Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, which I thought he was pretty good. He did kind of like a Larry David type impression.
I kept in the when I was watching it, my mind kept going to Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes, right.
But Larry David is a much more accurate. That name escaped me.
Yeah, because I remember watching it and I was like, that sounds a little like Larry David. And I was like, I didn't see his name attached to this movie.
Yeah.
I looked as Fred Armisen. I was like, okay, he's really good at voice acting.
Yeah. So that was cool. I never heard of Cranky Kong before this.
He was you didn't really play Donkey Kong Country, did you?
I've never played any of the
Okay.
Donkey Kongs.
Fuck, now we got to play that, right?
Probably.
We need to.
Absolutely. And then we had Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike.
He was
who
all right.
Luigi's boss from the Wrecking Crew.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek.
As who?
Kamek.
And-
Kamek
I don't know who that is.
is the Magic Koopa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kamek.
Yeah,
Kamek, however you want to say
That
it.
was pretty. He was pretty good. They're pretty good. Good stuff.
But yeah, all together, and then Anya Taylor-Joy was Princess Peach. And all together, I really, really liked the voice cast. I thought they did really well.
I'm just kind of curious. I know there was a shot where they had the Yoshis.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious as to when they do the next one, how they're going to bring him into the fold.
Right.
Because they're going to eventually.
Oh,
Are
absolutely.
they going to let Yoshi talk?
I would think so, actually.
I would hope so.
Because they let Donkey Kong talk, and technically Donkey Kong is an ape and doesn't talk, but,
Right.
Yeah. Well, they've let Donkey Kong speak in like the Mario parties.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not actually talking, but like they give him dialogue in the Mario Party games and stuff like that. So I've not known of any material where they've let Yoshi actually speak. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I ask that. I
Just-
hope they let him speak.
Just what is it that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
If you're looking for the voice of the nicked Yoshi, this
Right
is your
there.
man.
I
right
will
here.
do it.
He'll do it for lunch with Jack Black. That's all it'll take.
Nah.
So I was on Facebook and I saw this like fan made timeline for Mario.
So I've been
movies.
looking at that and
I've been obsessing over it. For
I've
the
been
last
obsessing about that one right there.
Yeah,
The
first,
Legend of Zelda.
The first two we got in 2024 was Legend of Zelda and Metroid, which Legend of Zelda I think would be interesting. Metroid I've never been a huge fan of.
I never really got into the Metroid games,
But he'll watch the movie.
I will watch it. Yes.
So here's what I'm going to say about this. I think that it's legit to an extent, if not the whole thing. I think it's legit. There is a rumor going around that I saw online. So WrestleMania was in Los Angeles
Right.
recently. While they were there, Cody Rhodes was taking meetings with producers for movie roles. And there were 2 movies that were brought up in this thing that I was reading. The first one is he is in talks to maybe play Johnny Cage
Yep.
in Mortal Kombat, and then Mortal Kombat sequel.
Oh, he actually fits like.
Yeah,
It gives
the
me
look,
a yeah.
the vibe. So he's in talks for that, so that may happen. And the other was a Legend of Zelda movie.
Ooh.
I read that
Him as
today.
Link.
Could be, yeah.
That would be pretty legit.
So-
I'd be down behind that.
Yeah, so that may be legit, and he may be the guy. So
I hope he is now
that
that
would
you're saying it.
That would be cool. So
Yeah.
So that gives maybe a little more credence to that list. That may be something that's actually going to happen now.
I will say this though. Link doesn't talk in the Legend of Zelda games. He makes the ha those kind of noises. Yes,
Yet
I'm making
again-
the noises.
Yet again, if you need Link for that, we got your guy.
I mean, wrestlers are pretty good at making those kind of noises.
Yeah, they are, too.
Yeah.
So this is Cody can handle it.
So
true.
the other movies we have on the timeline were obviously Legend of Zelda, Metroid 2024, and then they had Star Fox and Kirby 2025, which I've never been a big fan of either. Maybe unpopular to say.
I would like
Kirby?
to see. I would like to see the Kirby movie just out of sheer curiosity.
Yep.
I've never
What
been
that
a
could
Star
be
Fox
like.
fan though.
Yeah. And then 2026, Donkey Kong and Super Smash Bros. And Super Smash Bros. Is one that me and Boomer have talked about before.
Yeah.
And I think that would be epic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd basically be the Avengers of the Nintendoverse.
Yes.
Right?
So that would be the big crossover.
The NCU,
yeah.
the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. You heard it here. I said it first.
You need to get a copyright on that bitch right now.
So, in this movie, getting back to the Super Mario movie, we start out with the commercial, like we touched on, which I thought was really fun, really good,
Yeah.
really good take.
Yeah.
Because, like Doug said, you get that little bit of the Italian accent thrown in there, but you're not bombarded with it through the whole film.
Yeah.
And then after that, we kind of get a peek at how the Mario Brothers actually live, which sadly, we can relate on this podcast as far as, them starting their own business and like, oh, we might get a bite. And then they finally get a bite, and it's just like us with views and subscribers.
Right, yeah.
So,
They kind of fuck it up.
exactly. So I
should
feel
say
like
the
we
dog
related.
fucked them up.
Yeah. So then when they finally get their first break, they get into it with the dog, which I thought was a great scene.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
that was funny. That was
That
great.
was so hilarious.
And leave it up to Luigi.
Step on the bone. He broke the tree. Dude, not to get too far ahead or to give too much because we'll get to it. But at the end, when they're all getting like applauded by everybody, and the dog's just like glaring at him, and then just gives the nod.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like we're cool.
dang, that was great. He's like, respect.
And then we kind of learned that, like, one thing that I was surprised to learn was in their version, Mario doesn't like mushrooms,
Yeah.
Yep.
which I always assume the guy loved mushrooms because
So-
of the games.
Yeah.
You know?
Here, I'm going to throw this out there. All right. So I've always joked around that Doug and I were the modern day Mario
Bros.
and Luigi. I like to call us the modern day Mario and Luigi. So I don't like mushrooms.
And I love mushrooms. And they did the whole scene with the spaghetti or whatever, and he's talking about how he hates mushrooms, and Luigi's like, "Oh, I don't mind mushrooms," and he starts picking off the mushrooms and putting them on the plate. I literally turned.
We do
over.
that all the time.
I literally turned over to her during the movie. And I was like, "Hey, look, it's me and Boomer." It's like, giving me the mushrooms. So that was funny. I think the next part after that, Mario feels all sad and a failure because they're all giving him shit, saying that he's leading his brother down a bad path, even though they're trying to carve their own way.
Yeah.
Right.
So Luigi goes to cheer him up, I believe, and then they see on the news that Brooklyn's flooding,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that leads into like the next part where they go down. And they're gonna go fix it so they
Yep.
can make a name for themselves. And they get down in the sewers, and the pressure valve breaks off and shoots them through a wall or something similar. And they end up getting separated by
The warp pipe.
the warp pipe.
Now, whenever they get separated and Luigi ends up, in
The Darklands, I think is
in
what they
the
called it.
Darklands, yeah. I absolutely loved when all the dry bones come after him.
Yeah, that was
Dry
great.
Bones was always one of the characters I got stuck playing as in like Mario Party.
Yeah.
So to see like all those was pretty cool.
Not to jump the movie along, but I like the fact that when Bowser blew fire on that one,
It turned him
Koopa
into
turned him into dry
into
bones.
Dry Bones. that was cool, dude. Yeah, Dry Bones really got a little chance to shine.
Them and then the Shy Guys too.
Yeah, the Shy Guys got. I couldn't get over because the Shy Guys are basically right after that part, but I couldn't get over the one Shy Guy, the one that shoots out the little cannonball or whatever out of their mouth in the games. I just couldn't get over how much that looked like a BDSM mask the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
I was just wrong. I was like, they got him tied up and they're dragging him along, and he's got that face, and I'm just like, I may have went to the wrong movie here.
So Mario gets transported to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mushroom
Yep.
Kingdom.
And they drop a joke in there that I thought was great about the princess being in a different castle.
Another castle.
Yes. That's a great pull.
Yeah, that was a good line.
He's like, they're messing with you.
He's like, and I don't like it. Pulls out a fucking frying pan,
Starts cooking.
starts cooking for him.
now
Yeah, I'll
go.
make anything you want.
So yeah, then we learn that Princess Peach is kind of a badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, like when I play Mario games, I don't think of her being that badass. So it was a little totally different view. to
Take
me.
on her.
Now I know that she becomes a playable character in like Super Smash Bros.
Right.
So I thought it was kind of cool to give her a different feel to it. So, and I thought, Anna Taylor Jones, right?
Yeah.
I thought she did really well.
Yeah. So yeah, they introduce her and they're having that meeting, and she or slams Mario
Yeah.
basically. So she decides she's going to give him a chance to join her on heading over to Kong Island, I guess
Yeah.
what they called it, and
Kongland or whatever.
Kongland or whatever it was. So they pull up the trial course or whatever. It looks just straight out of Mario, like a Mario game, and she just like runs through it like it's nothing. And that was one of the things I really liked, because at the end she pulls up like her dress
and
like a
floats
parachute
down.
and floats down, just like the second game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like a throwback to it.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Very nice. Yeah.
And then Mario getting smacked the fuck out by those
Dude, for like 12 hours straight.
yeah, but the in the old games they were like the fireball,
Yeah.
spinning fireball thing, but I guess this one is just more like plastic balls or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
that is smacking him down, and then it basically he works on it all day and night and still doesn't
Makes it to the very
Yeah.
end. And he gets,
get eaten by a freaking plant.
One thing I wanted to touch on, I told Boomer this after I watched it last week, was the soundtrack in that movie. I love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
All the songs they had, they had a real 80s pull.
Yeah.
And then the way that the scores would incorporate the actual like scores from the games.
Yeah, and just
Into little
put their
pieces.
own take on it.
Yeah, they did it so well. Like I loved it. I just wanted to touch on that and give kudos for that because that was
Made
amazing
me
part of it.
made me feel like the Final Fantasy guy was in charge of the score or something.
what was it?
Nobuo Uematsu.
Yeah, or however you say his name.
Yeah, how good that
Nobuo Uematsu or something like that.
how good that was done.
Sorry, I butchered your name.
It's okay.
You're a legend.
He's like, I love you.
You're a fucking legend, dude.
Don't forget it.
So what was it? Next, they make it to Kongland.
Next, they make it to Kongland.
So I like it to where like they call out Diddy in there. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
And then if you
Like,
see
call
it,
for-
like I
give me-
noticed.
he gave me Scrappy Doo vibes. he's all like gung ho, like Diddy Kong.
I noticed they showed Dixie. I didn't see Kitty, but I did see Dixie.
Now who are Dixie and Kitty?
So Dixie is the 1 and 2 with Diddy Kong when they go on the quest to save Donkey Kong, and then I believe it's Kitty Kong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Kitty Kong joins Dixie in 3 to save Diddy and Donkey.
Gotcha.
So
I had no clue who y'all were talking about.
yeah. So I liked how they threw the power ups in there,
Yeah.
and then like when he grabs the blue one and it shrinks him.
The mini mushroom.
That was pretty funny.
that was awesome.
And then they all made fun of him for getting the cat one. And then he beat the shit out of
He
Donkey
was
Kong with the cat
badass.
one.
Yeah, he was badass with the
Yeah.
cat. That was pretty cool. And
And that's how he.
basically gains their army for the upcoming battle with Bowser.
Yeah,
Which was what? Pretty much
And then
Rainbow Road.
Yeah, Crazy Kong gave them
Cranky.
Cranky Kong. Yeah.
they get their
He's a crazy old
carts,
man
their
anyway.
custom carts.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make their custom carts. And
My daughter's favorite part, she said, was when Toad with his monster truck.
Yeah. Little man syndrome right there. if I ever saw it.
And the Rainbow Road scene was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like visually that was really pleasing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was done very, very well.
I liked them actually breaking the road and such like that. Was it Bowser's army?
We kind of glossed over all the different scenes with Bowser up to this point too. The movie, so we'll kind of go back and give Bowser a little love because we love Jack Black so much.
Yeah.
It basically started out with them showing up to was it the Ice Kingdom, or I don't know. I don't know what they call it, but yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
Little
it's
penguins.
but a taste of our power. Do you yield?
He's like,
No. So he just destroys them, locks them all up, takes the Power Star, which is kind of the focal point of the whole movie.
yeah.
He obtains the Power Star, so then I think the next time they show him, he's floating around on a ship and everybody's partying. There's a band playing, and
Yeah.
he gets up to like give a speech, and they're all like getting excited about everything he's saying. He's like, "Then we're gonna go to Mushroom Kingdom, and I'm gonna marry Peach." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then that's the one Koopa Troopa that says, "What if she says no?"
And then he lights him on fire, turns him into a dry bones. So that was pretty good.
The next scene,
With Bowser,
yes, with Bowser is the ballad,
yeah,
the Peaches ballad.
Peaches.
Peaches. Yeah, that's
Peaches.
So that's been pretty much the. I haven't really heard a bad thing about that yet.
No. Nope.
And I also read that it's actually able to be nominated for Oscar or
It's Oscar or
Grammy
Emmy, one of the
or
two.
Emmy or
that'd
something.
be great.
I actually hope he wins it because
he
he
ought to.
deserves it.
Yeah.
And I think it was in that scene, maybe it's been a week or so since I've seen this, but it was in that scene, I believe, whenever he finds out that, Mario and Donkey Kong are with Peach and he's super jealous of Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows about Donkey Kong
He doesn't
being
know
with
about
him
Donkey
yet,
Kong yet,
but
but
he
he
knows
knows Mario.
that Mario's with Peach, and he gets super jealous. And then the next time you see them
He
is
they
when the
captured
Shy
Luigi.
Guys bring Luigi.
Right.
So that cuts to the whole Luigi thing. He shows up to Darklands. He's running from that one Dry Bones, and then finds a whole freaking army of them coming at him.
Yeah.
Chase him into. Is that Boo's Castle? Maybe was that like a nod to Boo's Castle?
I have no idea. I thought it was Bowser's castle at first, but then I wasn't sure because I know it's the Darklands.
Yeah, I didn't know
I
if it
know-
was his or if it was another one, but either way, makes it into a castle, thinks he's safe, and then
Well, Boo had a mansion, not a castle.
yeah, right before the lights go out or whatever, it shows all the Shy Guys
Yeah.
behind him. So basically, he's going to get captured by the Shy Guys, carried to Bowser.
Yep. And
So-
then once he gets in the chains, we meet one of probably the
best character.
best character. A lot of people I've read it says it's the depressed star.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was from, if that was actually from something Mario related. I've never seen it before. I feel
So I know it's on Super Mario Galaxy. I know there's a star there, but I don't think he's depressed.
yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious.
adorably cute and hilarious. But you feel bad because he's depressed and he wants to
He's
die.
like,
it's
all that's left is the sweet release of death.
yeah.
And then everybody starts freaking out.
Lumali, I believe, is its name.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
It's
And he's like, I gotta like not jump ahead and
oh, you're good.
jump ahead in the story.
But yeah, that character did steal the show for me because
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I like this little thing.
Yeah, you're like relatable little dude.
thing is
Relatable.
I think he comes like somewhat comes out of the cage in
Yeah.
a scene, so you know
Yeah.
he can get out.
He can't.
just
He
stays.
just doesn't want to.
He's wanting to die. Yes. Yeah, that was pretty great. So back towards the current part of the timeline we were at.
We're on Rainbow
Road. So they smash up the road in this big fight scene chase. Mario and Donkey Kong.
Very action packed.
Yeah, Mario and Donkey Kong end up getting knocked off of the road. They
by the blue shell.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're falling.
They get eaten.
Everybody else gets captured by the
The
the army. Yeah. And then Peach is the only one that gets away with Toad on the back of her motorcycle.
Right.
Yep.
And she's headed back to the Mushroom Kingdom, which is where they'll pick up that. So, like you said, Mario, Donkey Kong get eaten. They land in water. Donkey Kong like passes out, almost drowns, and Mario saves him, pulls him up by his tie, and he's like, "Don't worry, I won't tell anybody." He's like, "Please don't." I thought that was pretty funny.
And then they get eaten by a fish,
Yes.
a gigantic ass fish. And then when they're down there, they're blaming each other. And then Donkey Kong starts beating the ground. And then
And he's like, "I don't just smash things."
and then the fish burps. And then they see Donkey Kong's cart.
What's left of it?
And so they grab the little rocket off of it and they shoot out of the fish's mouth.
Yep.
And then that's how they escape.
Yep. And then they're basically flying towards the next part of the story.
Yep. And then we make it back to Peach's castle where she's telling them all to evacuate. And then she tells Toad to go ahead and leave with them, but he says, "No, I'm sticking with you."
He's
to
like,
the end."
I'll protect you.
And so she stands outside, and then Bowser's ship comes basically straight right in front of her. And then they all surround her, and then Bowser comes off, and then he proposes. We'll say propose. And at first she says no, so then he's like, "Well, then I'm going to destroy everybody."
Yeah. Well, yeah, the little the magic guy, whatever name
Yeah.
you said.
Kamek.
Yep.
Yeah. So they attack Toad basically, and then he threatens everybody, and she's like, "As long as you don't hurt the Toads, I'll marry you." And then that takes us to the wedding scene now.
Takes us to the wedding scene.
So Wedding scene.
What a better way to celebrate a wedding than sacrificing all
All of the prisoners. Yeah,
Especially the depressed one.
I like how he just throws the line out like right before they're supposed to be doing their vows. He's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to sacrifice all these in your name or whatever."
I liked in
As
the
a gift-
crowd we got
as
to
a
see the
gift to you.
King Bomb.
Yeah, King Bob-omb and King Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, look, there's King Boo."
It's like I love how they just squeezed him in.
And then Toad sneaks in the ice flower into her bouquet,
Yep.
Yeah.
and she refuses the marriage and.
She goes to town on everybody.
Yep, starts throwing ice at everybody, freezes the lift that's dropping all the cages into the lava.
And how happy Lumley was when they were about
About
to be
to-
lowered in.
yeah.
And then when they lowered back, they get raised back. He's like, boo.
Aw.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
And then Mario and Donkey Kong basically inserted, and then Mario gets the Tanuki suit, and as Luigi's trying to escape the cage, he ends up falling off, and Mario saves him.
Saves him.
Yeah.
He was like, "What are you, some kind of bear?" That's pretty great. And he's like, "Oh, this is cool, isn't it?" And Donkey Kong's like, "No, not really."
And I forget how like the fire goes, but I know King Bob-omb gets caught on fire.
Yeah. So
I don't remember. So
before Mario and Donkey Kong make it up there to that point, they're running through the city to try to get up to the wedding.
Donkey Kong
And
gets the fire flower.
yeah, Donkey Kong gets the fire flower, and Mario just gets the mushroom power up. And they start, and then he gets hit and gets small again. I think Donkey Kong like laughs at him or makes fun of him, and then he gets hit right after and loses the firepower. And then that's when Mario gets the that.
Tanuki.
Yeah, I always just say the leaf, but anyway, he gets that and he takes off, and then he was like, "Yeah, is like this pretty cool or something?" Donkey Kong was like, "No." And then, like you said, go up there, he saves Luigi. The thing with the bomb, he what's her name? Peach. She has like a spear. She picks up a spear
Oh, catches it on fire.
and puts it in the lava, and then throws it over his head, and it lights the fuse on the back of
And
his
everybody
head.
starts to freak out, and he's
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then it explodes. That's how he explodes. So that was pretty good. Pretty good little fight scene.
and then,
The big bullet.
yep.
Yep.
Bowser unleashes the big bullet to go wipe out the castle, Peach's castle.
Yep.
And Mario takes off after it to try to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
He gets all the way right there to the castle. He
Flicks
can't
it with
stop
his
it.
tail.
He slaps in the eye.
Slaps it in the eye with the tail, pisses it off. It takes off after him. And he's going through the Mushroom Kingdom. He goes through a bunch of
And
mushrooms.
then he sees the
warp
pipe,
pipe,
and then he goes to it,
and then
and
pulls
then,
up
like,
last
pulls
second.
up, and then it goes through it.
And I think he goes, "Mamma Mia," or something. And it goes through it and explodes and causes like a vortex, basically.
Yep.
Sucks them all through back to Brooklyn. And then the big fight scene with Bowser and the Power Star.
All I know is Mario got his ass kicked.
Oh, yeah.
There
He
towards,
did.
I mean, at the end, he got his ass kicked.
He
He's
getting
hiding.
worked over pretty good.
Yeah, he's hiding in that little diner.
Yeah, and
The
then
rest of them are trying to fight off Bowser.
and then as Mario sees the star, the superstar, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it, he tries to go after it. Bowser kind of like breathes its
Basically,
fire,
yeah.
and then Luigi breaks it or stops it
With the sewer.
with the sewer.
He's
manhole
using
or
like
whatever it is.
using like a shield with the manhole cover.
And so they, as it breaks through, they end up getting the superstar, and they're both invincible. And it starts playing the dut, 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 dut,
Yep.
dut, and they just kick
like
the
it.
shit out of Bowser.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. They destroyed him pretty good. So I don't know if they had a technical term for it. I've been calling it a power star because that's what they call it in Mario 64. Which early on, when he starts doing his jumps and stuff, when he's starting to get the hang of things, he does a lot of the Mario 64 jumps. I don't know if you noticed the backflip and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. So they get the star, become invincible, beat the shit out of Bowser, and then at the very end, he apologizes to Peach or something. Just like, give me another chance. She's like, nope. And gives him the little mini mushroom, shrinks him down, and they put him in a jar.
And then Mario's like, I told you I'd get you a turtle.
A turtle if you came to Brooklyn. And then they get the big hug with his parents, and they're all like, oh, we're proud of you. That's my son, and all this stuff. And then I think the next scene is like the final scene.
It's when they wake up.
They wake up.
And they're in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
So they decide to go back and stay.
Yeah. They don't show that at first, though. It just shows Mario getting up out of bed and getting dressed, Luigi bringing him coffee, and they're gearing up, like put on their overalls and grab their plunger gear, like all their plumbing gear.
Yep.
And then they open up the door, and it's Mushroom Kingdom, and they start jumping around on everything. Thought it was a nice way to end. It's very open-ended where they could do whatever they want next.
Yep. As long as they don't do the dream state like they did for Mario 2, it'll be great.
Yeah. I don't think they'll go in, like, sequential order, because I don't think that there was really much of a... There's not, like, a point A to point B story through the whole game franchise. So what I would like them to do, and it doesn't have to be Mario 2, but they could do one that shows what happens to Bowser next. And
So I got a feeling, and not to cut you off, but I got a feeling the next thing that's going to happen is the Koopalings get inserted in. And then they're the ones that save him. And that starts basically what Super Mario 3, because they have the magic wands.
Yeah. So they could show that, and that even if they only do that at the end of Mario 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they can explore that avenue.
Or they could have Wario as the next villain.
Yeah, they could bring that
I
in.
would love to see that.
Well,
they can do like a Luigi's Mansion spinoff, like let him have his own little side story.
We'll see with Charlie Day. I think that he would do well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe introduce Daisy at some point.
Yeah.
I wonder who would voice Wario.
So there is I don't know if it's a petition, but I know people are wanting Pedro Pascal to do Wario.
Oh yeah.
They should
That'd be interesting.
That should have been Seth Rogen's character.
And then if you bring in Wario, you got to have Waluigi.
Yeah, isn't there like a rights issue with him though? Doesn't somebody else actually own the rights to Waluigi?
I would
have
like to
no
start
idea.
a petition to have Wario be Danny DeVito. I mean, you've already got Charlie Day.
Can he be that mean though?
Oh, Danny, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Why not Joe Pesci?
He could be Waluigi. That would work pretty well together.
Let's see. Trying to think of anybody else we could get to do like Waluigi. Pedro Pascal kind of looks like Waluigi.
He does.
In the last video I saw, what's Nicolas Cage gonna? Who's he gonna portray? We got to bring him in too after Renfield.
Are you going to watch Renfield?
Yeah, I'll probably wait for it to hit one of the streaming services, but I have every intention of watching. I like Dracula, and I love Nicolas Cage, so it's just a win-win for me.
I've been debating going to see it.
I wanted to. It's just too hard to get out of the house that long.
Yeah. I can understand.
We lucked into getting to go watch the Mario movie today. It all just kind of worked out.
Kind of came together.
So I made the choice to watch that over Renfield, but
Yeah.
as soon as it hits like Max or whatever, one of these streaming services, I'm definitely going to watch it. It looks really bad, but also really good.
See, that's kind of the trajectory of his career. It could go either way. It's like his movies are either going to be really, really good and well received, or they're going to be terrible.
And I still like them.
There's kind of no middle ground.
Yeah.
In his
I don't
movies.
really know any of his movies. Like, what were his best movies? What, Gone in 60 Seconds? Everybody loved.
The like National Treasure. Or whatever.
Yeah, I loved National Treasure. That one
People
was good.
liked Face Off.
Face Off,
Yeah.
but do they credit that more to him or to John Travolta?
My favorite was Raising Arizona.
I've never seen that one.
It's really funny.
I liked National Treasure. I liked Face Off a lot.
Yeah.
Loved Ghost Rider, and everybody hated it. The second one wasn't very good. I liked it to an extent because it was Nicolas Cage. Whatever movie was him and the beehive thing.
Oh, the
Deliverance
Wicker Man.
or Wicker Man.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't remember much from that movie other than that really bad scene.
Yeah, it was pretty
He
terrible.
was also
Where-
in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And
that wasn't really well received, but I enjoyed
I
it.
love that movie still.
Yeah.
and Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot he played the
Spider-Man
detective.
Noir.
Yeah.
So to reel this back in, what would you guys give this movie like score out of 10?
9.5.
9.7.
I'll keep it grounded 9.2.
So we're going to average it around 9.5.
Yeah,
I like it. That's fine.
it's a fun movie.
You sent me a screenshot of Rotten Tomatoes the other day.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53.
I
The
think
critics did.
Yeah.
Let me
The
tell
critics can
you,
go fuck themselves.
they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why we need critics at this point.
What is it,
Whenever
Ebert and
social
Ebert?
media,
Is that who it is?
It's King. Yeah.
Ebert and Ebert still?
I think so.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
100%. Yeah, it's
You get one, and you get one.
fuck you. But yeah, it's in today's age. Do we really need critics with social media around for everybody?
No,
to
because
voice their
everybody's a
opinion?
fucking critic.
So full of vinegar tonight.
I know.
Starting to feel like Francis right now.
You gotta flip a table. We're not playing Magic the Gathering. Calm down.
We're playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right. I think we're at the point where we're going to try to wrap this up.
Don't
So-
forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
And
Yeah.
heck yeah.
No, you fucked up. You fucked it up, guys.
You
Congratulations.
do the whole spiel, dude. You
All right,
do the
you
whole
ready?
spiel.
We're going to do it now.
Take two.
Take 2. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Don't Write Back Show.
Give us Give us some love.
And save our new single that's coming out.
Yes.
May 5th.
Chapters Cinco de Mayo.
Sinkhole de Mayo.
They worked hard on it. Give us
Did.
some love.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a pretty good song.
Yeah. I'm very pleased with the finished product.
Don't forget to try Nerd. It's delicious.
Boomer's obsessed
Fucking
with it.
nerds.
And yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, as we're closing out, I was reading this earlier, and my eyesight's so bad. It says smarter, right?
You thought it said Charter?
I thought it said Charter on it.
He's a sharter.
I was like, why does this energy drink say Charter all over it? Is that what's gonna happen when I get done drinking it?
Right.
Just thought you might enjoy that.
So I'm trying to get people on the nerd kick, right? So that's why I buy it, and then I just like advertise it at work. Tell them they have to order it online because they won't come to Oklahoma in Tahlequah and bring it back. So I'm calling you out, nerd. Come to Tahlequah. I will buy your shit.
Yeah, he's already doing it.
You might make more money off me that way.
You got him pissed now.
Yep. I'll stick to
He's
Celsius.
table flipping pissed already.
He's just trying to
Francis, no.
he's just trying to get a sponsorship. Anyway, it's been fun.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Go
better-
watch the movie.
Yeah, and you better enjoy our analysis and agree with everything we said, or you can go.
Fuck yourself.
There you go. Later, guys.
See ya.